And now it's time for the main event. So I would like to welcome Aparna and Sehaj, our speakers for today. And over to you. Please introduce yourself. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, hi. I'm Aparna. I'm the one who will be presenting the React live coding today to all of you. So, my journey is like I just worked as a software engineer like 2 years back. I have a experience of 5 years over there. So I had worked on several projects, mainly on Java. But after that, so I switched my career to JavaScript, React, Node, and Express. From then, actually, I'm passed out from Brainstation. From then, I am just doing some codings, hackathon, personal projects with React. So my main purpose of coding is to move from JavaScript to React because it's quite lightweight, quite easy to build up a very heavyweight applications. So yeah, this is it for me.
Yeah, thank you. Over to Sahaj.
Thank you, Cathy.
Mm.
So, I am Sehaj Wadhwa. I will be co-speaker of Aparna for today and for the next live coding workshop. I'm a software engineering master's graduate from University of Toronto and a recent bootcamp survival of Brainstation as well. And I'm trained in full stack development, focusing majorly on front-end technologies because front-end is something which fascinates me. And basically, I worked on MERN stack as well as MySQL as well. And presently, I'm working as a full stack developer for a tech company, but I also have experience of mentoring as a teaching assistant. And I do have my startup where I work as a software development tutor. And I'm very excited to be part of this community. I came across Frontend Queens like a couple of months ago, met so many nice people, and I'm looking forward to connect with all of you today.
Yeah, thank you. I'll stop sharing my screen so you can start coding.
So, should I start?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, now me and Sehaj, we have like collaboratively worked together with example like the Frontend Queens one example with the live coding, but we have moved from JavaScript to React. So why we have moved from JavaScript to React? Because React works in a virtual DOM, which is an in-memory representation of the browser. And in JavaScript, what are the difficulties we faced? Just I'm going to describe it over to you. So in DOM, the content of XML and HTML documents that resides as a tree structure. So in JavaScript, what happens? In the tree structure, the every element resides as a node. So if you write like in the tag like HTML, then div, then section. So in the UI perspective, it is written like that way. But in DOM, it resides as a hierarchical structure. That is a parent element that is HTML. The child element is div. Under that, if it is a section, under that it is P. If we introduce an element like paragraph, then it is like that way it resides in the actual DOM. So what happens if we change any element, if we create any element, what happens? It renders the actual DOM again and again. So it updates. So for for any small application, it is okay. For any big application, if it is a very complex application, then it rendering the actual DOM again and again, it is quite it is like affect the performance issues. So it becomes slow, so it becomes unoptimized. So what happens in actual DOM? If we write like document.get element by id, and if we get an id and we just update a value dot inner text with some abc value, so what happens in actual DOM? In the browser parses the HTML, the whole thing. Then it searches, it traverses the tree, and it searches the ID value of the particular which is fetched from document dot get element by ID. It fetches that ID, then it removes all of its child element. Okay, then it updates its value with ABC, then it recalculates its CSS, then it updates its layout, then it presents as a UI over to us. So it's a very complex algorithm. Whenever any of the changes, any of the element in the tree is gets like created, it's removed, any class it's created. So it is quite like uh I mean, it's heavy part. So repeated times it gets updated. So now the React comes. The React, what it does, it uses virtual DOM. It does not work on the actual DOM. So an identical copy of the actual DOM, which is a virtual DOM, it's created for React. In the virtual DOM, it resides as an object. And actual DOM, it's the element, everything, it resides as an object. In the virtual DOM, same thing. But the virtual DOM, it cannot update the actual layout of that actual DOM, that thing. But in virtual DOM, it's quite lightweight. And if anything, any element or anything is changed in the actual DOM, in the virtual DOM, so it creates another virtual DOM and it compares with the updated element with the new virtual DOM and with the old virtual DOM. It just take the changes, then takes the notes of the changes whether that anything it's updated with that element. If we write like document dot get element by the ID in JavaScript, like we are just changing the inner text of the actual DOM. So it creates the virtual DOM first, but whenever it's updated, then again a virtual DOM is created. So it compares these two virtual DOM and it takes the best possible way to change with the updated elements in the actual DOM. But it does not render the whole actual DOM. It actually renders with the updated elements in the actual DOM. So it does not get like reloads the browser again and again. So mainly the React, it manipulation of the DOM, it's there, but manipulation of the actual DOM is quite slow because it is quite heavy, but virtual DOM, it is very much light and it does not re-render the actual DOM again and again, but in JavaScript, it re-renders actual DOM. So we have moved our approach to React. So we have chosen the React language to work on these applications. And also this it in React it works a single page application. If you heard about that, it works as a single page application. What it does, a single page application, is you can fetch one page from the server. So you so whenever any clicks or any button clicks, anything happens, it does not reloads the browser if any page is made on React. But if any page is made on C, C++, Java, or JavaScript, whenever any clicks happen, it reloads the browser. That is called a multi-page application. So every time if you change any state or the any properties of the application data, it multiple times it fetches the pages from the server. So it gets heavy. So in for React, it's a single page application. It does not reload the browser again and again. So it is quite easy to use. It is very optimized. And here, majorly, we will use two very popular hooks in the React. That is one use state, another is use effect. So use state where we can just introduce a state variable over there. So we can change it. And another thing is the function to update the state variable. We'll introduce it like constant value, comma set value. Set value is the function which will update the value whenever it's required in the React. So we'll use it. And we'll use React as a component reusability. That means in a page, if there are several portions of the page, so we can divide it as a component. So from the component, we'll just collaborate that component part, and we'll just make the collaborative approach in the app.js. If we later on, we'll just show you how React works in a very small example. So there, we'll just introduce that. So we'll use the component reusability over here. And in the use effect, whatever the state variables is introduced, and we'll change the state variable with a function like set by this. And this is one part in the use state, and another is use effect. Use effect will use like when a component will get mounted, when it is dismounted, and it gets updated. So what is mounted means when a component gets rendered, whenever a application gets started, when a component gets started, like it's mounted, then if we introduce use effect on any component, then the block under use effect gets like executed. So whenever a component is removed, that is component is unmounted from that application, then if we introduce use effect over there, then it gets executed. And if any state variable is changed, any props is changed, any props is passed from one component to another component, there is a method we can pass one component to another component through properties like props dealing, it's called. So we'll be using that in our small example. So we can use effect. So it depends on a dependency array, which we'll use at second parameter. That may be an empty dependency array or a dependency array with a state variable or prop variable. So whenever a state variable changes, that use effect hook will run again and again. So now Sehaj will be like presenting her screen to show a small example with use state and use effect. So can you just make a React app? So yeah, so this is the way we will create a React app, that is npx create React app and test. We can name it as test. Yes. So it will take time, and it will be like using a complete folder structure in VS Code. Yeah, it is taking time. And moreover, we'll be using SAS here. So it's a advanced, version. So we won't be using CSS cascading styles, rather we'll be using SAS. So it's a new styling statement, yeah, for like to style the JSX code. And we'll be just putting that component name as a JSX in JSX that form or JS form, like .jsx or .js will be naming that those components. Yeah, it will take time. Yeah, I love SAS. Yeah, I am also be loving SAS from then whenever I'm using. Yeah. So it's created. So if you just expand that folder test, so you can see that there are node modules that is created. Yeah, so whatever the required files needs to be there, there's a source, and there's app.js. So can you just run it?
So first we need to install node modules, which we can do by npm
No, because
i.
it's not required, because it is under, I think, test. So you are under desktop test, you have to be under like CD test. Yeah. Now you can run. So yeah, so whatever is written, it will be all, it will be from that whatever it's written in the app.js, that will be run like here. So the logo part, that link, learn React, it's written in the app.js. So everything we have to define under app.js, which is actually open in the VS Code. This app.js is mainly run from from index.js. So can you open that index.js? So mainly see here, so we can define the component as like app, and it's a end slash and it's a closing tag. So under React strict mode, it is written as app. So from here, so if we just remove, can you just comment it out, that app? Just comment it out. Yeah, then it will not run. So from index.js, we have to define that app component over there, and in the app, whatever the components will introduce over here, so we have to write everything under app. So yeah, so can you comment it? Yeah, so just comment it out, those React strict mode thing. Yeah. So can you just install SAS, npmi SAS? So for SAS installation, we'll be using for SCSS, I'll be using SAS. So everything, the dependencies will be loaded in the package.json. So if you open the package.json file, yeah, so you can have a look that SAS, the version which is the current version of the SAS which is installed. Then other libraries like React DOM, React will be using use state, use effect. For that, the React JavaScript library is used. So for that, it is automatically gets like installed whenever a React app is created. Yeah, I can close it. Yeah. So now just change just in the source, in the folder structure is like this. Uh Whenever anything, if you want to do programming, so you have to mention components of a folder structure like components. Under components, I will be using two two components, like can you make two folders like headers? Under header, I'll be using header.jsx, no, not footer, header and body. Yes. I think it's under, so header.jsx will be under header. Yeah. So another thing is header.scss. The whatever the styling structure of the header would be there. So we'll name it as the extension with SCSS. The coding part will be there on header.jsx. JSX is a combination of JavaScript and XML. That's why we named it as a JSX extension for React, but we could use it as header.js2, only the JS. So it's up to you, whichever you can choose. And one more component we'll use under component. Yeah, make a folder body. Yeah, same thing like body.jsx, body.scss. Okay, one more thing in app.js, JS, yeah, just remove that header to header part. Yeah, the predefined codes, whatever is there, we can remove it. Yeah, also also in the app.css, the CSS part we also can remove. Yeah. So can you run it? Yeah, if you see it will also run with the port number 3000 in the local host. So yeah. So see, now everything is deleted. So I have just created two components like header and body. So in the body, go to body.jsx and create I'll be using functional component over here. So RFC, that is a short form. Yeah. So like this way, a component is created like constant body, it's an arrow function. And under that div, you have to write the whole HTML coding. So if you can name like div class name equal to body. Yeah. No, small b. So class name should be always with it's a case it's a good practice. So it's always be the lowercase, and this body component you can define it and on app.js. Yeah. So if you define just so the component, if you define like body, yeah, this will be like this. And you have to import where the body is located, like it's located under components and body. So if you refresh, yeah, see the body, that thing is like that. Yeah. So whatever it's written, it's there. Yeah. So I will be creating two buttons with use state. Like one button will just increase a counter, the second button will decrease the counter. So under body, just make constant, go to, yeah, there constant count, set count. Not here, not there, not there. And after, yeah, constant count, comma set count equal to use date. It will be under third bracket. Count and set count would be under third bracket, Sehaj.
So which third bracket?
Okay, I'm just giving you constant. In the chat, I have mentioned. How use state is defined. Yeah. So here the use state is defined like this way. So if I actually have like introduced a count variable and the function to change the count, like set count, it will be like changing the count variable. Can you refresh the browser? Yeah. So body it's written. So just can you click to create two buttons? The use state it's not defined. So can you just right click after use state in the program? Yeah. Use state it's not defined. Go to use state, put the cursor in the use state, yeah, and control space the right click, then it will be defined. just define use state over there. Import use state from React. Yeah. So you have to define the use state from React library, the JavaScript library. So the count value is defined as 0, initialized as 0 over there. So if you can initialize as 1 to anything. So I want to initialize it as 0. So under div, just create 2 buttons. Remove body. Yeah, create 2 buttons like button on click. Yes. Equal to, this is simple JavaScript that is the arrow function which will be used, like it's a yeah, it's a positive, yeah, positive. And another button you can create, it's a negative button on click. Set count -1, that is negative. Yeah, 2 buttons it's created. So so we want to just view if a positive button is clicked, then the count value will increase by 1. If a negative button will be clicked, then a count value will be decreased by 1. So under body, so you can define the header thing, like yeah, after body, after div, after div, not there, above, above. Div class name body after that line. Yeah. Mention the header component, header count equal to, yeah, space, count equal to count, yes. Yeah. So we will be passing that count value to the header, that is called the props drilling. So just mention that header thing above in import. Just import that header component. Yeah. This is called props dealing. So we'll be sending this property to the header component. So go to header.jsx, define header like extension we're using like tab 9, I think. Right, Sehaj? The extension we're using, some questions pop up. So the extension we're using tab 9. So here, so under header, just define that count variable over there. Not there, not there, not there. Under first and second bracket. Constant header equal to, yeah, within within second bracket. Within second bracket. Yes. So that's the way we can pass the properties to another component and remove the header. Remove the header and define count. Under second bracket. Under the div, yes. Count, yeah. Yeah, so first we have initialized there in the use state. You can see it's initialized as 0. So what it does is like this. So go to body. Yeah. So here we have initialized as use state, the count value is 0 and we are passing this count value to the header component. So we have defined it under body. So it's the count is like the past. So it is showing 0. So if you change the value 0 to 1, can you change the value? Yeah, 0 to 1. So it will be showing 1. Yeah, see? So if you click plus, Yeah, so it will be just increasing the value. So how it is increasing the value? With the set count, the count plus one. Whenever a button is clicked, then a set count will be executing. So whenever it is a positive, then it will increase the value by one. Whenever it is negative, then it will be decreasing the value by one. So this is the use state. So here, if we want to use effect over there, can you write use effect after the use state? Use effect. Yeah. So yeah, just press tab. Yeah. So if you
Uh, sorry for interrupting. So anybody who was asking, the extension is GitHub Copilot. It's GitHub Copilot. When you just download the extension, you will receive the pre-coded stuff written over here. You press tab and then it will come on React.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, one more thing, a tab 9 is there. So I'm not using GitHub Copilot. I'm using tab 9 because GitHub Copilot is a paid thing. So tab 9 is free, so you can use it. Yeah. So if you go to the tab 9 is a free. Yes. Tab 9 is TABNINE. Yes. 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 Can you go to the console, like browser extension? Go to the browser, right click, inspect. Yes. Go to the console part. Yes. If you see, can you just refresh the browser? Just make it bigger. 50%, can you make it's 100%? Yeah. Yeah. So if a component is mount, what I have said, like whenever use effect is used, if a component is mount, like the body component is mount, then the block under use effect will execute. Like I have written here console log use effect. So whenever a component is mount and it is then it is like it is printed in the console log. Whenever you increase the count, if you increase the count, yeah, then use effect, because it the second parameter is like the dependency array. So whenever the state variable changes, like if the set count I mean through the set count we are changing the state variable of the component, and also we are displaying the header part. So whenever it is used, whenever the state variable is changed, then the use effect will run. So you can see whenever, like if we do like plus again, yeah, then see the use effect is running like 6 times. So if we do the minus, see the use effect will run. So whatever, so it depends on the the variable like count. If you remove the count, you can use the empty dependency area also. Just remove that count part, yeah. So it's an empty dependency array. Whatever it does not depend on count. So whenever the component mounts, I mean it only run once. Like the use effect thing will be running only once, and irrespective of changing the count value, like plus and minus, whatever you are doing. So if you do the plus count, just do the plus count, plus and minus, whatever, then it won't run because it does not depend on the state variable of the count. So if you write over there the count, then the console log, that block under use effect will run. Yeah. So this is a very small example, an easy example of use state and use effect. So yeah, that is the part. And now I'll be entering the main coding part. Like this. So we have chosen like sunny side example that we have done. So I'm just sharing my screen. Hmm. Okay, just give me one moment. Okay, why it's not actually showing. Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can.
Yeah. So here, actually, uh, I'll be showing that already a folder structure has been made because it will take a lot of time to make the folder structure. The same way I have used that like in PX create React app, and now the folder structure is made. So I have just put it all the assets, all the desktop designs, all the assets, the arrow icon, arrow down, Facebook, anything, everything in under source, under asset. So desktop design, font, and I have just included all the styles things, like whatever we have used in the JavaScript, like in the partials, in the fonts, whatever the fonts we'll be using, like Barlow, Francis Bold. This is the way we have just put it under SCSS, like fonts.scss folder in the mixins. That is a mobile version, that is a mobile version, that is like from 375 to max weight is 1083, and the desktop is like greater than 108. That is defined in the variable. Yeah, the desktop I have defined is at 800 pixel, that I can change it like 1440. Yeah. So minimum width is like mobile is 320 pixel and desktop is 1440, and the primary colors and neutral colors, whatever it's there in the style guide, we have put here under variables. So we'll be using that mixins, and the globals, we're just maintaining the margin and padding and box sizing border box for li h1 h2 h3 h4 p HTML body. So everything, the margin and padding will be 0. So we have just introduced all these things. Okay. So now I'll be starting from like the mockup. So if you see, I'll be starting from the desktop design. So I will be just coding up to this. I don't know how much time it's left. So I'll be coding up to this. The next day, Sehaj will be coding up to this portion. So up to this, I have just divided it into several components, like it's a nav bar, a banner, and the hero portion. This is the banner portion, and this is the hero portion, and the background. So I have divided into three components. It's a nav bar. So I am starting the coding. So first of all, I'll be creating one components under source. So components. Yeah. So okay. So under components, I will be creating one folder that is called navbar. So under navbar, I'll be creating navbar dot jsx and navbar dot scss. Yeah, so everything it's there. So I have just installed SAS previously, so I don't need to again install the SAS. So yeah. So now if I run, then nothing is there. So it's the mobile version, it's a desktop version, yeah. Mm, yeah, okay. So if I write something here now, bar. And in app.js, I'll be just fetching nav bar. Then you can see the nav bar. I mean, whatever I have written there, nav bar. So for SCS, for here, we'll be importing for dot SCSS. Sorry. So div class name nav bar. Yeah. Now here I'll be showing that desktop and mobile both versions. For the desktop, it's like under div thing. It's very problematic to show this thing. Sorry. Yeah. So if last name equal to nav per logo. So under this, so we have to make the design like this. Sorry. Oops. Under screenshot. Yeah, we have to make the design like this. This portion, it will be like the sunny side, the logo, and this portion, it will be like list of about services, project, and constant. So we'll make the display flex. Yeah. So under Lambert logo, there will we have to import logo from assets. Assets, then in logo.svg. Yes. So it will be like the image mg src logo for logo. Yes. So it is there because it is a white thing, like so it is not actually seen. So it has come. So after this, we'll be showing that uh UL it's UL class name equal to nav per list, that is li about. So see, you can see about it has come. Li services, li projects, contact. So now, so here For the nav bar, we can define like this way, dot nav bar, how the class is defined. So under nav bar, we can do like display flex. Yeah, justify content space between. So it will go at the end of that page. Align items center. Margin left to ramp. Yeah. So uh, so we can define the background. So otherwise this sunny side logo, it won't be visible. So that blue background we can define in app.js. So here we can do like the class name equal to background. We'll just the div, just close it, and this background we can define it in app.scss. So dot background would be like background. The URL would be like from dot assets, then desktop and image header. Yeah. Yeah. Now you can see the sunny side because it was like white. That's why without the background it was not seen. So for desktop, we can make the height as like 30 rem. Yeah. So background size, it's cover. Okay. So it's for like desktop. For mobile, I can define it like @ So if you want to define the mobile, so you can define like include mobile. So, so as the mobile is like included here in under styles, it's under partials, under mixins. So it's defined as like mixins mobile. So min width, it's like mobile. If it is like mobile, then the min width is 375, which is from 320 pixel, the mean width, and max width is like 1083. So we can define it like 800 pixel. Yes. So it is coming from variables. So in the variables, it is defined as mobile. Sorry, anybody's, yeah. Any questions? So yeah, so here variables we have defined mobile. So it's 320 pixel and desktop is 1440. If we want to take this mobile thing under mixins. So we can define as a media mean width mobile, that is 320 pixel, because it is coming like as a use variables as star. So we have to define like this way. So we can import that actual mean width of mobile is like 320 pixel, and max width will define as 800, because it's not defined in the variable.scss, but its desktop is defined 1440. So we'll add mix in desktop, that is naming as desktop. The mean width will be like 1440. So yeah. So like this way we can use, and in the app.css we want to use the mixins. So if we want to define the desktop and mobile, so automatically it is defined as a desktop. If we want to import the mobile version, then we have to import like this way, use like this way. So use source styles partials, sorry, and
Um,
partial.
Hey, Aparna, just wanted to give
Yeah.
you a warning that we'll have like 15 minutes left, so we can have 15 minutes for questions afterwards.
Okay, then I think it is not even like it's just started, so it won't be any problem. Like I cannot like finish all this task, because within 15 minutes it's not going to be end.
Yeah, sure. We still have a part two, so it's okay if you don't finish.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
We have a second part of this.
Okay. So second part, I think Sehaj will be taking. So yeah.
Ah, okay.
So from here, the Sehaj, I think Sehaj can continue from here. So yeah. So within 15 minutes, how I mean whatever I mean how long portion it's gone, it will I can cover. Then I will cover.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm importing this mixins. So this mixins there. It's the mobile. It's there, like it is defined as mobile. So I can create here like this mobile. Hmm. I think we have to do use source. We have to import these two things: styles, partials, then variables. I don't know why it's not taking.
The
Okay.
path to variables.
Sorry.
If you can check the path to
Oh.
variables, yes. Yeah.
Hmm. I think mobile it's not recognizing. So we can, if it doesn't recognize, then we can write it like this way. So max weight, it's 320 pixel. So we can write it like this way. So if it
Aparna,
doesn't recognize,
if you don't mind, I can just tell you where the error is coming. So on the
yeah.
first line, it's at use path as aesthetic and then
Okay,
semicolon. Yeah,
as,
aesthetic.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and then semicolon. Same for variables.
yeah, okay. So let's see this mobile. Yeah, now it's coming. So for like, we can do background. Yes, that's mobile. Then image header. Why it's not affecting? Don't know. This cover. So as it's not getting affected in the browser, so we can write it like this: media max width 320 pixels. Okay. I really don't have any idea. Yeah, now yeah, now it came. Yeah, it's quite slow. So this is the desktop version. This is the mobile version. Mm, Background, position, center, center. Yeah. So if you see, it's like max width, it's 320 pixels. Then it works like this way. Yeah. So now in navbar, so we have to check these things, the navbar. Like for SCSS, we can use, as the name it suggests, like navbar list. So we can use like we can use in the CSS format dot navbar list this way also. Display flex. Yeah, if you can see, we can use like this way. And we can use for SCSS. The beauty of using SCSS is like we can use like this way. Under navbar, this is another class is navbar list, so we can use and hyphen list. Then we can take like display flex. This is the same thing. This is the same way it will work. So padding be 0. So I want to make the flex, it's 0.8. So it will take a larger portion. So it will take 0.2, the flex, that logo portion. This will take larger portion. And justify content is space between. Yeah. So under list, li would be like margin 1 rem, 1 rem. Yeah. And padding It's 1 rem. List style none. Yeah. And we have to import the font family. So we have to use like that way, use to affect the font, like styles, partials, fonts as star. Yeah. So the font family will be Barlow. So it will change the color. Yeah. And there is an hover effect if you see in the mock-up, I think. There is an hover effect over here. So I think we can, yeah. So this is color would be white. Yeah. And if you want to affect the hover under every list, so the background color would be like, okay. So if we want to import the variables from here, like from styles, there are variables that they are defined every colors over there. So again, the same way we'll use sorry at the rate use dot styles partials and variables as star. So there in the variables it's defined, the color is defined. So we can use the white thing like this way here. So we can define color as this way. Yeah. And also here the background color will be white. Sorry. Yeah. So now you can see the hover effect, it's working. So now we have to do the text transformation. Okay, the color of that portion will be dark blue as it is defined in the variable. The dark blue is here. It is coming from the style.mg. So here you can see. So hover effect, it's working. So now the text transformation, text transform uppercase. Yeah, see, this is working. And border radius to RDM. So if you can see, it is exactly the same. Yeah. So you can define padding like 1 rem. Yeah. So if I can show you the mock up, so it's exactly the same way. But I think it's like it's quite bolder. So but in the variables, no sorry, in the font, actually the Barlow, which is I mean from the style guides, it's the font weight it's defined 600. So it's not the bold, but I think the Francis bold will be used. Font family Francis. Think yeah. So this is and for mobile, I think should I continue or should I stop here?
I think this is a good place to stop and go to Q&As. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So to this, yeah, from here on, the Sehaj will continue on the in the next week. Yeah, you can start the Q&A. Yeah, what do you
Mhm.
say, Sehaj? Yeah.
Yep, it
Yes.
sounds good. Can you open the mock-up, the
Which one?
desktop any? Yeah, so that
Okay.
we can just show what the whole website would be looking like. So this is how the whole website would be looking. So when we start the part 2, we will have the pre-coded. Can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Yeah, we will have it pre-coded before client testimonials. And from part 2, I will start with client testimonials and will try to complete until footer so that we have a full 1 to 1.5 hour to complete the website. But if you have any questions, Aparna would be with us in the next part 2. So if you'll have any questions regarding the header part or the gallery part, she will be here to answer everything. So we'll code it in the next part. As we did as a collaborative project, she will push everything to GitHub. I will clone the website in front of you and I will also pull the code so that we know how two people or like multiple people can work on same project. So we'll clone from GitHub and plus we will also start coding from client testimonials. And if we have any questions regarding pre-coded website, of course, Aparna would be with us and she'll be here to answer.
Yeah. So can you want to start from here? So
No, I will do with client testimonial so that we'll be able to complete the project in the next part. Otherwise, it would take us 2 to 3 more parts to complete whole project. So we'll have it pre-coded, which
so
I can
but
clone.
this portion so I don't know. So Maria, if you can answer. So if this portion I will be pushing in the GitHub, the rest of the portion up to this.
Yeah, Aparna. Yep.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so if
Okay,
you have
then
any questions, feel free to drop in chat.
okay, so I can push it here. So already I have made the Git repository. So I can push it over here. Um, um, Okay. So I'll be doing in this week up to this. So Sehaj on the next week, she will be starting from